Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're here to talk about game week 2 of the Premier League and what to expect from the second game week of the Premier League. As I said, we're still getting this series in the way and figuring out how we want to go about the series, but here are the games, here's how it's going to go. West Ham versus Chelsea is our first big London derby kind of thing of the year. Obviously it's two, relatively large London clubs, obviously the world champions right now, Chelsea, and I think this is where they get their first win of the year. West Ham really not impressed last week against Sunderland, and I think Chelsea are going to have a nice little riot of West Ham. I think Graham Potter is not the man, and he's going to pay the price against his former club as well here. I don't know if it's going to be like a massive result, but I think maybe like a 3-1 Chelsea is what's potentially on the cards here. I feel like it's going to get their season underway because I do think Chelsea are a strong candidate for pushing on this year and making a real fight for themselves. City and Spurs, the half-12 game, surprisingly, on the Saturday. Would usually expect this to be a Super Sunday game, big highlight around it. It would have been a great Friday night kickoff game. But yeah, City Spurs. I guess the West Ham Chelsea makes a good recognition for Friday game because it's local, it's easy for fans to get to. But yeah, anyway, City and Spurs, always good fixture. And just I think the way Spurs played last week, they played pretty well against Burnley, but the way City played against Wolves was unstoppable. I thought Wolves played alright. I think this City team will walk over Spurs this week. Spurs have had a pretty bad week with the Eze deal already, and I feel like City are going to pile onto that, add on to that, and just make life a bit more miserable for them Spurs fans. Obviously usually Spurs can get a result like this, but I think this is going to show Spurs' true colours for the year, but it's also going to show City's true strength for the year as well. Against a bigger team than Wolves, Spurs who are still trying to find their way under Thomas Frank, but yeah, Bournemouth Wolves, I think this is going to be a real exciting game. I think it's got a lot about it. I think both teams have looked exciting going forward. Obviously Wolves didn't get a shot the other day against City, but this City team looks pretty unstoppable. I think Strand Larson looks really good, and Munetti looked really good as well on the wing. Semenyo obviously looking great, and I think both goalkeepers put in a good effort for themselves as well. Petrovic especially making some really good saves throughout that Liverpool game, but obviously conceded 4 goals. So I think there is goals in this game. I think it's going to be 3-2. I think I can see 3-2 Bournemouth. A lot of action, and we'll see what happens. Brentford and Aston Villa. It's going to be a dull affair. It's going to be a dull affair. I thought Brentford looked dull, I thought Villa looked dull the other day. Obviously Villa now without Konza and without Martinez still. They've got Bizot in net, and they have to figure out something else in the defence. I think it's going to be another dull affair, maybe like a 1-1 or something like that. They could both get a goal in them. Obviously I think Villa are better going forward than Brentford, but I think Brentford can, kind of hold themselves strong. We'll wait and see what happens in the game, but I just don't think much is going to happen in the game. Burnley Sunderland are walking through this one. Burnley looked really poor the other day. Burnley looked really poor against Spurs. I mean, Spurs are a bigger team, but Sunderland looked so exciting, looked like they've got the right mindset for going forward. Obviously Burnley looked like they were doing the right things, putting the pressure on and the pace that they've got in the team, but I think Sunderland are going to be the better team. I think Sunderland have made the better choices and decisions, and still looking at getting Mukiele and stuff like that. That is a brilliant deal for Sunderland. But I'm talking about like Granit Xhaka, somebody who can hold the midfield and be like, listen, this is how things are going to go. Obviously, I really thought they was going to get Henderson. Brentford ended up getting Henderson, but Xhaka is an improvement on Henderson for their current states. So yeah, Sunderland are going to have a nice day out there against Burnley, get the second win of the season, and stay with the big boys for a while because that's how they want to be. Arsenal Leeds, obviously Leeds winning their first game on Monday of the season against Everton, and Arsenal winning their game very close. I think both games were very close for these two. Leeds probably deserved to win their game more than Everton would have beat them, but Arsenal did not deserve to win their game. I'm quite biased towards that one, obviously. I don't think Arsenal deserve to win the game, but I think they will definitely come out of this game on top, and in a deserving manner as well. I thought Leeds weren't really tested in the Everton game. The defence wasn't really put to the test. I thought Tanaka made a good account for himself in the Premier League, just being here, there and everywhere, covering the ground. I just think this Arsenal team are going to, try and flex the muscles a bit, try and ease into how they want to play. And I think Gyökeres will have a good game as well. On to Crystal Palace Forest, another game that I think is pretty exciting. As not had enough hype behind it, in my opinion, for this game week. Crystal Palace Forest, obviously two. They've had a bit of a heated summer with each other, with them both being in Europe now, both making a good European push last season. Obviously Palace for the FA Cup and Forest for the league. wishing Palace was in Europa League, but they're in the Conference League now. They're actually playing tonight, and I feel like Forest are going to pay the price for that. I think you know, obviously Palace are playing in midweek, yeah, but they'll be a heavy rotated team. Palace coming out in this game with a bit more hunger, a bit more violence towards Forest. Forest looked good the other day, but I think this Palace team can hold strong, get a good result, and push on for a good season for themselves. If anything, like 2-1, maybe 2-all, because I thought Gibbs White still looked good, and I thought Chris Wood still looked good. But as I said, once the European push starts going on for both of these teams throughout the season, I think we're going to see a drop off, mainly from Forest. I think the Europa League is going to take a much more heavier toll on Forest than it will on Palace. And Everton Brighton is our 8th game of the weekend, also at 2 o'clock on the Sunday. And I feel this one's going to be another quite dull affair. Brighton didn't really do too much in their game against Fulham, and Everton did do nothing in their game against Leeds. And I think it's going to be another close affair. It's going to be how the Premier League is going to be this year. It's going to be a lot of tight games. I think Grealish might have to make a mark. I think he should start in this game. Hopefully he does start in this game rather than coming on. Obviously Everton looked a lot better once he did come on, and I think he can really help Everton out this year. Everton, we know, are strong defensively. They just always needed that attack. When they lost Lukaku, it kind of all fell apart for him. So hopefully they can get back to that with, you know, the likes of Ndiaye and Beto and Grealish and this Barry guy that just got from Villarreal. Fulham and Man United. We had a few, you know, heartbreaks against Fulham last year, which is a bit annoying. I don't think we're going to see that this year. I think the performance we saw against Arsenal last week, we continue in that that manner, in that fashion, with that passion, with that desire to go for the result and get the game and grab it by the neck and be like, yes, this is how we're going to play football. I feel like we will beat Fulham. We'll only just beat Fulham because there's still tweaks that need to happen. We're still in another midfielder, we're still in another goalkeeper. Once those are done, perfect, fine, I can be as delusional as I want, but I know where we need to fix up. As I said, I was impressed by performance against Arsenal, but we need to see goals, we need to see that end product, and hopefully we do see that against Fulham. We'll wait and see. That's what United really need to push on for. And then another big drama game, Newcastle versus Liverpool this weekend. Obviously loads of chat about it over the past week, thanks to Isak, who has refused to play for Newcastle. Newcastle, well, we're not selling you, mate. You got 3 years to contract, go sit in the reserves, pal. And Liverpool, who obviously defended their title, did it well last week against Bournemouth, but I thought we saw little bits where they just weren't as strong as they were last year. There were still a few slip-ups in the team. I feel like the team was too high, but I feel like that's going to do well against Newcastle. But Newcastle are a team that can retaliate pretty well to this when, you know, the likes of Frimpong and Kirkus go up. Hall and Livramento can do the exact same and put a bit more pressure on that Liverpool defence. Obviously, I think the main issue will be the focal point still for Newcastle. Newcastle still have that focal point. Liverpool can take advantage. Liverpool are going to have chance after chance, and it's going to come off eventually for them. So yeah, I do think Liverpool will win this game. I still think until Newcastle resolve their striker issue, they're going to have a tough season now. But yeah, that is the end of this video. If you like the video, please leave a like. You'll see more, subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys, and let me know your predictions for this game week down in the comments. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.